Sweet. Alright. Alright, here we go. Alright, here we go. We're on this game. Oh, that's not turning the right direction. That might sound a bit weird. Oh, that's what I was hearing. That was not really fun. Okay. Alright, sorry guys for all that. I was doing my thing, which is apparently trying to continually drag the mic off of the little stool that I have here. Yep, so we are back again with the great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and I'm praying that it stays up. It's really funny. So, yesterday when I live streamed this, apparently, it live streamed the entire thing up until like the very end when I said goodbye. Like as soon as I said goodbye, it was like it lost connection instantly, which I thought was hilarious. So. Just gonna boop it. Love again? How about live? Cool. Let's get back into this. We're like scattered. Hold on. My computer breathes so loud. Yeah. Alright, where were we? Indeed, oh right, alone he was the Englishman. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment of the firearm's discharge, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was, that young... Yeah, but where were they sitting? The actual history. Oh. Furthermore, our visual search of the premise at this time confirmed we were the only personnel present. Wait, what about...
Yes!
Oh, okay. You must have not noticed.
Attention!
Glimpse this one. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we got that. Mm-hmm. So I have history, right? But like, how do I look at people? Apparently that is not a thing. I would like to actually look at this.
Yes!
Across the tail for the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's tiny companion, it's just not possible. Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruto, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry? The waiter, whose testimony the court has heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. Okay. Wait. Oh wow, that's the dude. And if such proof exists, the prosecutor has no further mention of this fandom will be made. It is a blatant waste of the court's time. Excellent work, Rionsuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got once before. Yeah, I'd like to see it too. Oh, never mind. No, I don't. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. Press the A and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Use up, left, down, right. Oh. To move it around. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I could figure that out. To rotate the evidence in all directions, examine it from all angles. By using the directions... Oh, left stick, you can move the cursor. You can move the crosshairs around the hunt for clues that may have been missed before. If the crosshairs start to pulsate, press A to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there's something new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, see what I can do. I need to use... Yep. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Let's have a look. Is this some kind of medical history? And there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? What do you mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident. He had a bad tooth. Then why would he be eating steak? Nah. Laughing gas? I don't believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthesia wears effects past. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. Yeah. I think we listened to the testimony again. That young and black, that much I did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premise at the time confirmed that we were the only person present. Indeed, alone he was an Englishman, dining all by himself. Not according to... What are you wearing? Why call yourself a lawyer? Shut up! I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Rionsuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clearly in that case cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so personally, you knew exactly what it was like you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright. And thanks for the advice. Only the victim. I see, and I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on the report card with the statement, something clearly doesn't add up. You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish dribble. But let's say that time is completely irrelevant. But that's remember, Ryusuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. The witness testimonies in the court has heard have been clear and concise. The medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for that simple reason that there's no one else who has the pale pace. They believe that? What? Outburst, half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hoda Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you the victim had just had a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say? That he had orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't. Kuroki-san. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed, sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we know, just had one of his teeth extracted and was experiencing the effects of the anesthesia. Expertly done, partner.
Objection!
What is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see a plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about, or can't you follow the logic? How dare you? I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Ryusuke? Yes, most definitely. So having undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beef steak? Because it's not even like he was eating, like, eggs, but that's something that's, like, soft for your mouth. Like, steak is tough. I mean, you can make it juicy, you can make it a little bit softer, but, like, there's a knife there to cut through it. And yes, it's not a steak knife, but still. The court will hear the opinion of the defense in this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel? Counsel? All that means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of your turning this trial around. Show 'em what you're made of. Got it. So, pushing the stake in the victim's table must have been... Obviously, it could have been someone else who's sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
We know this go, will you? There's no such person. There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that there was somebody else there eating it. With strong evidence to support our assertion, it's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. The court decides to push through a ruling at this stage. We will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice to pursue a fair retrial. Relentlessly. Don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them! Those two witnesses on the stand. And now it turns out that you two deliberately lie and giving your testimonies. Obviously, you'll be charged with perjury. Perjury? And since this is a murder trial, you'll also be deemed complicit in the killing. I love the memo. There's no mention of all this technical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right. As the man says, you say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Oh. What? What did you say, Kuriko-san? Oh, no. You were just following orders? Now hold on, lad. I was, Say you never saw the gentlewoman. Grr. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What?
Objection!
What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Was this true, you pair? Who told them? Just one simple. What is going on here? It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this. Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Who tried to prepared to be tried as conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. Ryunosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence as someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Aochi had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police. Confirm who tried to silence his witnesses. We can continue our pursuit. I think it was the government because they just signed that peace treaty. We need evidence before making any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield this on her power here. It's her power. But how? How can we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found new clues as a result. Oh, yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We have to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. Okay. Somebody outside yelling on the board. Hold on a sec. This plan of the restaurant raises a number of questions. I think. Definitely. It's supposed to show the relative position of everything in the moments following the incident. But there's nothing to show the woman you say you saw there. Okay, characters to right kitchen, especially not if they were in a hurry. You mean you don't remember those characters yourself? Don't you? Study harder, Ryunosuke. This plan in the restaurant raises a number of questions, I think. Definitely. Oh! Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? It's Toro Hosanga. Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Osanaga. Primary Criminal Investigation Division. Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector, what on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here... For the day, the professor was killed. Extraction with the use of anesthesia. So he did have tooth out. Yes, it sounds like he's just before he went in for lunch. Dr. Wilson had a decayed tooth removed. They probably used laughing gas. Yeah, well, yes. Yes, I've heard he'll talk. Yeah, we did this. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. It's proven these witnesses manipulated. And what does the defense have to say about all of this? Well, Your Excellency, I don't have time to think. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is...
Yes!
He's the one who gave us the card. Osanaga-san, the waiter who took the stand earlier. Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that he even had even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter. What? If he truly were... Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Hisaru's real identity as proven by this piece of evidence. Detail. Not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon. Or perhaps I should have said the front. Yes. It's the front of the back of the card. Please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say. Hassan sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man. The question's profession. His true profession. The waiter's profession. But that's surely... Good gracious. That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention before. Why haven't I heard this mention of this before? The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power, absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, the witnesses stare in the stand. Or is it, in fact, the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd been sent the foreign gentleman at the scene? Well... Oh, he's there! Inspector Hosaga. I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized there's a possibility. The court will make this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Yes, I remember now. did exchange when the judge actually handed over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. Our detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Of course! Your salary I was working under to investigate. I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant. What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I'm not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. This other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that you, in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. Oh, I thought that happened in the courtroom. I was like, whoa! I got a little freak. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed the restaurant and report the incident to the borough. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. Killer! I think it would be everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect, well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case? But it's not right! No one knows what to do. Because they're defending her because she's an Englishwoman. One possibility does spring to mind. In Kazuyama, UMA University is hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. I'm just gonna kill it. That way it doesn't have to do it 3 times. If somebody wants to message me, they can. I'm just gonna leave it down there. I have a lot of tabs open. Oh my gosh. Alright. Is a young English woman. What? I can see why you're a chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. So the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. A brat? Oh, a Giselle. What is happening here? I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of the situation. That judge is a lot on his mind, probably. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by particularly critical false. It would be a discretion of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point. But, Your Excellency, that means missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send to the telegraphic report to Great Britain. On government, I will not allow the government of our country or any other influence the proceedings of my courtroom. I like this judge. He's taking a lot of pressure for this. He could easily buckle and be like, yep, nope. You're just gonna say that the other defendant is guilty. Good, you know, I buckled to the... He's standing up to the government. Wow. Whoa. Inspector Hasaga. Yes, sir. You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem? Him, he's cool. Let me take a picture. I got it! Ha! I did it! Game beat you! Coral adjourned briefly. The prosecution was called English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency! Good. Then we will have a 30-minute recess before recovering. Yes, please. AM, Supreme Court of Judicator, Defendants, Antechamber 5. So it's like 22 minutes until noon. So... Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. Ugh, my heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it. That's terrifying. If I can't get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Anyway, looks like we've exposed your phantom lady, at least. Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain. So I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There's a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have. Haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are the one thing I am sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentleman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself, then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun on the floor, and just after I bent down and picked it up, I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot came from. The waiter ran over to me looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me in some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was the shut-in in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Professor Mikotoba. It seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You exceeded my expectations, I have to say. It just turns like cutting him with a sword. You idiot! I was supposed in this trial. And if I do this live stream tomorrow, I'm sitting in that chair. My back hurts. A modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send out and provide these young stars overseas to learn all they can. I want to avoid a situation that may have a man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis in his life. I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going. So that's your stance. I'm afraid you feel this way. Kazuya? Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me, after all, I have personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier in his board, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. I'm sure you're probably aware. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going to go against. The gentleman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then, I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuyama-san. Kazuyama-san. Defendant Naruto! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's get in there and deal a decisive blow. Before those old fossils know what hit them. Kazuyama? What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you had said you believed in me, I'm fairly sure I'd already be found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend, coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm not found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alrighty then. I'll say the thank yous for after the trial. You could treat me to one of those Suzuki meals I like from the Yume cafeteria in University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. Oh, we're passing in. Okay, we passed the date. Time. I wonder how Great Britain feels. Court hereby resumes the trial of Rinsuke Naruto. Prosecutor Chief, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, that's their job. It's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down our nation founders? I don't think that's going to happen. It's their friendship between our nations that really is so fragile that a treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Rinsuke. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is it the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Shut up! Shut up, you jumped up, rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what we will secure our futures. Court, here is one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Well said, Rinsuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror. Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system, and excels solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett. Yes. Your Excellency! Oh, that's a hat. Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and fanatically treating her different just because of who she is. Is that true? No idea. So, could we possibly trouble you and state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hasunaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at Le Carnival. But yes, we know about you already. Inspector Saga, what are your manners in England? It's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you were sure of. Oh yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yeah, your description of this amazing sight was simply a woman. Yeah, like, dude, she's prettier. Yeah. Sorry, Runescape, powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. You just got burned, son! Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. You know, I have forgotten how to really write cursive, and I think I'm pretty good with reading cursive. I think somebody just wrote gibberish. Like, they could say there's like an I and an L, and I think there's like an S there, another I. Is she supposedly speaking in English? I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what? Oh, she's speaking in English. The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in the university's medical facility. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the illicit tones and the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as the hummingbird's song. As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. Ha. You'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You're clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. The court thinks that at the restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? She says yes. It's gonna take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. I mean, you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau. Oh, well now, dear lady, if you kind as to cast your eyes on the photographic print. Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime. For her, it's an unfortunate. For us, it's like, oh, we're gonna die. Would you be there to play suspended eyes, caught sight of the wicked creature, perhaps? Apparently, it's very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it appeared that the lady did witness the crime. The very moment the accused, standing right here in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Order in the court! Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Unfortunately, I have to ask you to formally testify, please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. A frightening and sorrowful sight. Arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit.
Yes!
No, I don't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection!
Quiet, you filthy wretch. Look at you, you the black-hearted blackguard. Look at the snow-white angel. Oh my gosh. I'm sure a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine the words the court is going to believe. Hold on one sec. Give me a moment. That my connection holds firm. If not, then I might not be able to do more live streams. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryusuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. But he's so annoying! Of course, I was at this scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the bureau. They decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimony of the last two witnesses were completely worthless. However, well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. Her hat! Unless and until the precise location where the witnesses to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are his own words in the matter. That's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Yeah, don't do that. Like, you will be thrown in jail. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. It must have been the gun there, another gun there that day. You're right about that, which means the lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And do so. We'll need to pull her testimony apart. She can totally understand what we're saying. She's just covering up. The defense may now cross. Frightening and sorrowful sight. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. I was unable to eat, so I ordered myself only a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a...
Yes!
How? Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. Like I defendant, you can't deny. But then when the shot rang out in the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand. What? Yes, that's true. But wait, can't we prove that the gun wasn't fired? In fact, yes. There's someone much closer to the victim than me at the time. The highly suspicious lady. That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel. Dirty? Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy. It seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours. What nonsense. The lady is merely stating what she saw. Ooh, why is her thing just smiling? And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. So she maintained that you got into an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot him. Which is an out and out, totally unfounded lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast, you, dressed from head to toe in a dull black school uniform. I'm dressed exactly the same way you are, except for the flapping red ribbons. Anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as the fiction that it is. If we can't do that, the trial's over. Even you with your thick skin was able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room. Only too well, I feel half dead already. And the fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in your testimony isn't making me feel any better either. The first thing to do is to press her on any of her statements that seem even slightly off to you. Do that and an opening will present itself. I promise you. I do expose the true face of this exotic foreigner that's hiding behind the mask. That's what I should be aiming for in this cross-examination. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered myself only a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor and they got into a fierce argument. And long after, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry my gun myself, so obviously couldn't have been the culprit. Wait. Wait. No, I'm not wrong. No, guys, you gotta see it from where I'm seeing it. Okay? So, like, she's saying he shot him right before her eyes, but he's sitting in her seat. Okay. I never interacted with the professor, and all I did was I noticed him. Was go over say hello. Please don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing that retort at you. I was meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry. Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese. No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway. English is the future. We all must speak English. I wonder if the prosecution feel that way forever, or if only the presence of that beautiful woman. That beautiful woman is telling blatant lies to the police straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how soon and significant it may be. Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. That part ties in what you said, doesn't it? Yes, I still have some coffee to drink. And the next time you got up after that was when I finished my coffee and stood to leave. Not long after, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him at or before my eyes. To me, it just doesn't make sense because it's like where he's sitting. Okay, like you gotta look at it from where I'm looking at it. Like the meat is in front of him, right before her eyes. Sure, I guess, but like they move seats.
Yes!
It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely, I verified it personally. You verified it? Yes. Immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the young lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly heard her saying, I am not. That's all you did? You just asked her? Surely you carried out a physical search, Inspector. No. Why on earth not? The Honorable English gentleman clearly stated that she did not possess a weapon. There's obviously no need to further probing into the matter. No, of course not. Why would there? Or was there no permission given for any further probing into the matter, perhaps? Think what you will. But if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that a fine lady was concealing a firearm, the prosecution demands to support your assertion with facts. In other words, he wants evidence. Ugh. The lady was pointed out, of course, she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation. But she was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Not sort of the fact that your coffee had told you to get the woman out of there. Oh, office. Wow. Ran away from the scene of the crime. Which is why she's only too happy to cooperate and testify in court today, of course. Unlike a certain student who refuses to admit when the game is up. You at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you. So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor, and then in which you shot him, which is an out-and-out, total, unfounded lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from a black school uniform. Yeah, I know.
Yes!
Let's just press everything, because I don't know what to do next. After 2 p.m., in fact, that's really quite a late lunch, isn't it? You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late showns are on en vogue, is that not right? No. The size of a British nose is quite distinct to it. And is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. It was apparent a daily occurrence that they would they would lunch together. But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes. We can prove the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, yes, that all makes perfect sense. Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentleman is. So, you're both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next?
Yes!
Just press everything. He's unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had tooth removed at Hoda Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She had heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who had the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right. Other than a carbonated water. Just water? Yes. The professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the dinner toast their lunch with a glass of water each. They raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Ryunosuke? By the way, this is the last statement. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing? The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for this last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well, sidestep counsel. Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Really? Did you know?
Yes!
Bird. That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photograph print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the scene of the crime. That was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, that is... it's... very odd. Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself. Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, where's the other glass? Ah! You're quite right, Counsel. There's only one glass picture here. Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutiae? What possible difference could there be does the presence or absence of the glass make on the case? Minutiae, you say? Could it be the detective here? But they're showing two glasses on the table. Or are you gonna tell me you can clink with only one? You're quite right. I certainly took two glasses to the table. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that I should try to hide the fact that I've been there at all, she is saying. Good gracious. Sorry. There, as I shared the court before, there's no consequence at all. Oh, please! Just remember that this student has just murdered the lady's lunchtime companion before her very eyes. Yeah, she can't even hide a gun. Where did she hide a glass cup? What? No, this can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. As soon as she slipped into a small handbag she was carrying. Oh, she couldn't have hid the gun there, but she can definitely hide a glass. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by a well-to-do woman in England. So the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that the glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. The student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations, you wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's deeper significance there, it's the handbag. Wait, the lady put her glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep it. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlemen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. What have you been sitting, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard, and the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire the gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. Oh, you can't be suggesting... Inspector Osnaga. Yes? Did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir, I did not. And she knew she could get away with it because she was an Englishwoman. How dare they search her like that? Wow. I like this case. Okay. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. Order! 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 What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ichi? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now I have a chance to expose the real one behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? You okay, Inspector? Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I completely forgotten about. The photographic print. This print is of a photograph that I thought it would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I don't see it. Oh, it's not in record yet. Well, I never. You can see right through what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Not if it was inside the glass. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. No, that's why she took the glass. That's why she took the glass. Why she took the glass. Why she took the glass. Probably a napkin or something to hold the phone. There's no napkin here. No napkin here. And then there was nothing there to show before the crime. You shock. Now you're proving that Naruto son. Order! Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. Photograph of the handbag has been entered into the court record. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted to the court record appears to be of further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must rethink my ruling. And I must make my ruling. Indeed, there's only one logical conclusion. The pathetic rookie slumped over on the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator to this crime. Of this crime. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuyama? Continue. What? You mean this is it? I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat, while the strong eat. You're wasting your time. There's no way to defeat True. I'm really going to be found guilty for a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study abroad, studying Great Britain, will slip through his fingers. Around. You heard the judge. There's nothing about the last photograph the detective produced we can contest, which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Very well. I will now proceed immediately with a ruling. It seems we were able to re-report the British government on time after all. That smug little. Ryunosuke Naruto, having considered all of the evidence placed before me, yes. I hereby... Wait! Your Excellency! Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule in this case yet. This amateur's is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom. Oh, there's a glove on. Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photograph print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. This case at this time would be out of the question. This is the blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentleman was carrying on the day of question. There can be no problem with this evidence. You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. It's on his hands. Is that really? The prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. What? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photograph print Inspector Hasaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print you find significant detail which you have alluded. And I would like to know what that is, personally. It's the glass.
Yes! Attention!
If I could do it, then I wouldn't have pointed out the wrong part. Yeah, yeah.
Hold it!
Something here. Okay, so take another look at the photograph. Right.
Yes!
Oh, good! It was the weird bull in his hand. I was like, this is the only thing I can think of. I have no idea what it alludes to in this case, but you know we're gonna go with it. There's very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Attention!
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? Clearly has nothing whatsoever to do with a magnificent lady's handbag. Wait. Wait. It's a rose. I don't know, we'll figure it out. He was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. The more I look at the more I am intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Aishi points out, unless a firm connection to this case. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite with the case. To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging and digging in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. Press this shutting door back open again. To give up counsel, you can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. Just taking a moment to look. Alright, I just wanted to check before we kept going. But if we have evidence that irrefutably linked the burn to the victim's wrist in this case, then would you allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed the burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves the burn really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. Ooh, good. Man, it's hard to get that thing to go around again. There! There, right there! There, oh my gosh, right there. You guys see that bull? I see it, I found it, I found it, I found it! Hold on, I found it, I found it, I found it. BAM! What's this, counsel? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. I do too, which is why next time when we play this game, let me see, records. The next time when we play this game, we will come back to this. Save it one more time. So, yeah, I've been live streaming from until about 10 o'clock my time. It's 9:59. I don't know what's about to happen, but I figure we can end it now, and that's okay. So, if anyone watched me live, thank you. I kind of turned off my phone. That way I didn't have 3 things live streaming at the same time, so it really wore down the internet. But you know, if you're watching on YouTube later on, thank you for watching. I very much appreciate it. While I'm stuck in quarantine this time, it's really nice to actually be able to do some live streaming. So, hey, there you go. So, maybe I'll do some live streaming later tonight or tomorrow. I don't know. If I feel like live streaming more, I will. But the next time we live stream, I plan on live streaming this game again. So, continuing on the story, because I'd like to see how it ends. So, thank you so much, and I'll see you all later.